Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge, and whether you agree with it or not, competitive Premier League games will be leaving the shores of the UK at some point in the near future. We've had the London Mayor talking about his preference to see this. It was only a few short weeks ago that Liverpool fans were in uproar at their chairman saying that he wants to see Liverpool playing in America. What are your thoughts on this? Because it's going to happen. And whilst we might say don't do it, I think you also have to be open to change. We'll go through some of these comments, but I think more importantly as well, I think fans need to be involved in this. So where do you stand on it? Would you be totally opposed to any Premier League competitive games leaving the UK? Or are you open to it in some way, shape or form? Because you can't stand in the way of progress. There is huge amounts of money that come into the Premier League because of a global audience. And if you don't do it, you better be sure your neighbour John's going to do it. And what I mean by that, La Liga, the Italian league, who lag behind the Premier League for revenue and appeal, will step into those markets in an attempt to try and make them more appealing. The Premier League are desperate to do this. I mean, they've got to play the political game, but they're desperate to do this. And this is what the London Mayor has had to say about this, Sadiq Khan. He said, Liverpool, the club I support as Mayor of London, are currently on tour in America. They have big fans in America. Why can't those fans see a competitive game? To which the answer is, Liverpool have always played their games in Liverpool and around the UK at grounds where Villa have always played or United have always played, Sadiq. So if you're asking a question, there's a very simple answer, because it's never been done before. So why can't they? Well, because that's not what's happened. You're going to have to change things. So I think he's phrased it wrong in the first place, probably playing the political game, and football's not political. What he should say is, I want to see, and I haven't got a problem with watching Liverpool play in America. Why shouldn't that happen? But that's evolution. That's not happened before. If you want to know why it hasn't happened, it's because Liverpool play at Anfield, and that's the way it's always been. He goes on to say, we've seen other leagues across Europe play competitive games elsewhere. Have we? I'm not aware of any. All 32 NFL teams have played in London. All of them had a great experience. We have some of the top baseball teams playing in London as well. There are lots of obstacles, but I think that's the way it's going to be. It's very important to take the fans with you. We don't want fans missing out on more than 1 or 2 games a season in their home stadium. And there was also a report coming out that, and for some reason, Man United against Chelsea's been mentioned as, you know, TV executives and brands rights would love to see Man United play Chelsea in America. I know Man United and Chelsea have got big support there. I don't think Man United fans would be happy about losing Chelsea as a season ticket holder. I don't think you'd be happy about Man United Chelsea being in New York. So I don't know whether you can take the big games to start off with. But I think that when you look at it with TV rights and brand deals and the potential to expand, there probably is an air of inevitability to it as well. And of course, as I said, you've got Liverpool's chairman, Tom Werner, who said just last month, I'm determined to one day have a Premier League game be played in New York City. So, look, they want to do it. There's no doubt about it. They want to do it. My personal thing is, and you've got to be very, very careful here. You know, if you in life, you don't have to be involved in it. You don't have to have an opinion on something if you don't want to. But if you're going to have an opinion on it, you've got to accept that people might have a different opinion. I think that it's a dangerous road to go down, because once you go down it, you don't come back. And it's like changing throw-ins to kick-ins. I prefer throw-ins. If you go to kick-ins, the game changes forever. I think if you go to playing games in America, why can't you play games in Brazil? Why can't you play games in India? Why can't you play games in Japan or China? So it's a path that once you open the gate, you're never going to shut it again. So that's got to be a consideration, because what I would say is we can't just say we're going to play in America because there's a lot of money there. That's ridiculous. If you can play in America, you can go and play somewhere else as well. So you've got to consider that. The NFL plays in Germany, not just the UK. The NFL will go and play in other countries if the money's there to be made. And the more you do that, you know, there's only 38 games in a season. I think a Super League is still very much on the agenda, and that one of the core things of the Super League was to take games like Man United against Liverpool to India and places like that. They very much look at the model of the F1 and the way that's on tour, making money and brand deals in different countries. So I think that it's not going to go away. I think the desire to do it will happen. I think the fundamental thing is, and football's very, very bad at this, is how would you do it? What would your thoughts be about it? How would you do it? Because I want to look at the comments, because look, we've got a podcast. We'll probably talk about this in more depth on a podcast, Goldbridge Saves Football, but there's the plug. But what I would do, I don't believe in politics in football, so I couldn't give a toss what the Mayor of London's got to say about it, to be honest with you. I care about what football fans think. And more importantly, I care about the traditional football fans. You know, the people who follow the club home and away. You know, the hardcore match-going fans. Because you're depriving them of... There will be Liverpool fans, Manchester United fans, Arsenal fans who, for years, go home and away. It's part of their existence. So if you take away 2 games, whether it's Brentford away or whether it's Liverpool at Anfield away, those fans might really relish the thought of going to New York to watch Man United play Liverpool as an away trip. You know, what an away day that is. But you're depriving them potentially. So I think football fans have to be involved in this. Too many decisions in football get taken by people who actually are minority. You know, the Premier League, FIFA, UEFA, owners, board members. They're a minority compared to the millions and millions of people that actually make football affluent and wealthy. You know, McDonald's or Coca-Cola or BMW, they don't pay football clubs loads of money for brand deals. They pay them loads of money because the eyes of people who are watching football will see their BMW or whatever it is. So football fans should be involved in this, because I'm not saying let's have a Brexit vote, but I do think that as part of this, and it's a Premier League discussion, there should be a legitimate match-going poll for all the Premier League clubs on how open they would be to a game a season for each club being played in America or wherever else, because I think the answer to that might be more interesting than you think. Because I'm not opposed to it. Like, I'm not dead abrupt opposed to it, and I think I'd like to know where I am. Am I a massive minority on that one, or is it more 50-50? I think a lot of people don't like change, and we're traditionalists, and football is traditional. You know, I think about football when I used to get in from, you know, playing a match or being to a match and grandstand and final score and all that and match of the day. It's traditional football. You know, you watched it with people who are no longer with us. So I get all that, but I also think, you know, so many clubs are on tour in America, and we all really like the tour. Like, it's nice to be in America. It's nice how the crowds turn out. And, you know, part of me just thinks, well, maybe Man United against Fulham in New York in a massive 60,000 stadium isn't a terrible idea. I don't think I'd like to see Man United Arsenal or Man United Liverpool go there, because I think those games are too big. But as a happy halfway, why not take Liverpool against Nottingham Forest, or Arsenal against, I don't know, Leicester? You know, something like that. I don't see a problem with that. But then I will concede, the minute you start doing it, you know, next season it will be Arsenal, Man United. So you've got to be very careful about it. And that's why I think you've got to take the fans on this route with you, because we saw what happened with the Super League. And I think grown-up discussions about why does this benefit the football fan who watches games in the UK? And what I would like to see, and this is where I'm going to do the mic drop, and you should have stayed till the end. I, as a football fan, am not opposed to this if you get rid of the 3 p.m. blackout. Because if you're going to give America or another country some of our Premier League games, they already get to watch 3 o'clock games as it is. So you're taking more away from the English game to the international audience that already gets to watch games that we can't. And I think that is what I would say as a fan. If you want a conversation about taking games to America, then you better clear this 3 p.m. blackout and let us be able to legitimately watch every single game like they can in America already, because they're already getting a better viewing experience, and now you're going to give them games. Mic drop. Get your comments in below. Smash the like on the video. Make sure you subscribe.